Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 5, the final episode of this Blender tutorial series where we're creating this treasure chest scene. This is part 5 and on this video we're gonna work on the lights and textures. If you want to go along with us from the beginning but haven't seen previous parts, then definitely check them out. I'll put a link in the description or you can find them somewhere on the top right part of the video. On the first 4 episodes we've finished modeling of the chest entirely, and on this video we'll work on the lights and textures, which will be the last episode of this series. So let's hit the nail and get it started. First of all, let's add a floor to the scene. Press Shift A and bring a plane. Let's scale it up all the way up to that point. Then press 1 to go to front orthographic view. Bring it lower up to that point. Just merely it should rest on the scene, just about that. This is fine. So let's work on the lighting. Now after the lighting part, we'll go through the texturing parts. To come to the rendering preview from here, and from the render properties, let's check on the ambient occlusion, bloom, and screen space reflections.
Stop it. Get some help.
For the scene, we need 3 lights. The key light, it would be our main light, the support light, and the rim light, which will be on the back of the model. So first, let's go on with the key light. Bring a light. I prefer area light. You can go on with another parts as you like, but I'm gonna continue with the area light, just like that. It should come from the front of the model or with any angle you like to be rendered on your renders. So just select the light and come to the lights or object properties, and let's increase the power to something like 500 or maybe a little bit lower. I think that's going to make sense now, and that is good for now. Maybe it's temporary, we're gonna check it later. Let's duplicate it by Shift D and bring it here. Rotate it on the Z-axis and bring it to the right part of the model, just about there. And this is the support light. It shouldn't be that strong. Let's give it a power like 50 or maybe a little bit much, just like that. And the last light that we need is a rim light. Just like take a copy of this one, bring it all the way up to here to the back of the model, and let's rotate it 180 degrees on the Z-axis, just like that. And that is our rim light. We have to make these highlights on the edges of the model. This is called a rim light, and it's too much for a rim light. We have to decrease it to about 100 or 150, just like that. And I'm gonna change these lights after we gave them some textures, because their behaviors will be changed after giving them textures. So the lighting part is up to here. We're gonna go on the texturing part. After that, we'll come back to the lighting part again. So let's go to the shading, and this is the shading part. Select the floor and click on new. I'm gonna call it floor, and let's change the color to a dark blue color, but I'm gonna give it a noise texture and color ramp because I don't want to work on here. Let's bring a color ramp node and a noise texture. Then with the noise texture selected and the node wrangler add-on enabled, which I've explained numerously on the previous videos about node wrangler, you can just hold down Ctrl T, then these 2 nodes will open up to you, the mapping node and the texture coordinate node. But you can do it manually by bringing them one by one. You can just search for mapping node and the texture coordinate node, but it will make your work easier. So let's connect the color to the factor, and let's plug the color to the base color. So we have this texture here, but I'm gonna change the generated to object, and let's work on the colors a little bit bring them near each other, just like that. And maybe we can work on the scale a little bit, and also the details. It should be a little bit more detailed. And about the roughness, about that, I think that's going to be good. So let's change the colors. The black one should be black. The black one should be dark blue. Something about this. Or maybe we can make it even lighter. And the light part should be a bright blue. Just like that. I'm gonna find a good tone of that. It's too saturated. We can work on the saturation a little bit. The black ones also, we can change them about there. Let's change the white one again. I'm not satisfied with that yet. It can be much better, or we can make it dark, but for now it's good. And then let's change the roughness. Let's decrease it. It should be shiny a little bit, not so much, about there. Okay, for the floor, I think up to here is good, but maybe we can change it on the future. Let's go to the metal parts, click on one of them and click on new, and I'm gonna call it metal, maybe metal 1. So let's change the color to a gray color, just like that, and let's increase the metallic all the way up to 1. You see that it's going to looks like a metal, and bring a noise texture. Then again with this one selected, hold down Ctrl T, then bring a color ramp as we did for the previous one, but this time we're gonna plug them to the roughness, not the base color. So plug the color to the factor and plug the color of the color ramp to the roughness, just like that. And we have to change the generator to object and plug the object to the vector, and you see that it's going to be appear on the surface. And let's increase the scale a little bit, and also detail and the roughness just a bit. It shouldn't be that much, and maybe we can work on these ones to maintain these effects here, just about there. And there we go. That's going to be looks like more metal than before. So let's select these ones and this one, and also this one, the key one. At the end, select this one that we gave it a material, hold down Ctrl L and then link materials. Then they will copy the materials of this one that we already gave them material. So select this one again, and also this one and this object, and do the same thing again. And there we go. We have these metal parts here. So we have these parts, the lock part itself and these parts of lock. Select 2 of them and click on this metal, and again hold down Ctrl L, then link materials, and just like that. And now it's time to give the coins a metal material, but they should be cold and yellow color. Select one of them and then select one of the objects that we gave them a gold material, and again hold down Ctrl L and link materials, and you see that all of the coins get that material. Why is that happening? Because in the previous video, instead of copying them with Shift D, we just copied them with Alt D, and all of them are sharing just same vertex groups. If you see that, they are sharing one vertex group, all of them at once. Because of that, if you change any of them, all of them will be changed and affected, and it will help us a lot when we want to model all of them at once. So select one of them and click on this 10 here, and this is a new material at all. So I'm going to change it to gold, or maybe coin, whatever you like. And let's change these colors a little bit. It shouldn't be white, it should be a yellow color. So select this and let's change to yellow. But oops, it's for roughness. I completely forgot about that. Let's come to the base color, and from here change it to a yellow color, and there we go. This is the gold and our coins here. But you can make it a little bit more brighter, just like that. So for this one again, we can go on with one of these ones, the gold one, select the lock itself, and at the end select the one of the golds and hold down Ctrl L and link materials, and we can just go on with that, or we can click on 2 to create a new material. I'm going to call it black metal, and for this one I'm going to give it a black color like that. Or we can do the same thing for here or here to make it a little bit more detailed. So select one of them and come to the edit mode and hover your mouse on these nail parts and press L, and also with this one again, come to the material properties and click on this plus button here and click on the assign button, and then from here you can choose the black metal and tap out to go to object mode, and there we go, we've got it. So with these ones we can do the same thing. Select this one, hover your mouse on it, and also this one, click on the plus button and select the black metal and assign, and we have the black material here. So let's do the same thing here. Select this, L, 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 and that's it. So click on plus, and here select the black metal, assign, and there we go. So I think that's better than before, but we can also go on with this one as well. Select this, and at the end select one of the black metal materials, hold down Ctrl L, then link materials, and it has a black material as well. So the last part for texturing is the wood texturing part, and it's completely procedural, which I've used it in my previous videos, I think in 2 or 3 videos if you go along with my channel. So let's do the same thing here as well. Click on new, and I'm going to call it wood. For creating the procedural wood material on Blender, we've got different ways, but I myself prefer doing this way. Let's bring a Musgrave texture and let's duplicate it by Shift D, and with this one selected, hold down Ctrl T to bring these maps again, and plug the object to the vector and plug the height of the first Musgrave texture to the vector of the second, and bring a color ramp and plug the height of the Musgrave texture to the factor of the color ramp, and at the end we can plug the color to the base color. This color ramp texture is for controlling the colors of these ones. You see it's black and white now, but we're gonna control and change the colors from the color ramp node. So don't do anything with these ones, but you can control it if you like, but I'm gonna leave it just like that for now. And we're gonna scale them in an axis that we want to be scaled and create a wood material. For this one I'm gonna go on with X and scale it up to maybe that point. That's going to be good. And also let's do the same thing for here. Select it, at the end select this one, hold down Ctrl L and link materials, and there we go, we've got the same material here. So let's change the colors a little bit. This should be black and the other one should be brown. Make it brown, and let's change these positions just like that. Should become up to that point, and this is here. So we can change the brown a little bit to control the color. I think it should be a little bit browner, and maybe something like that. And let's work on the roughness and also the normals. Let's bring a color ramp for the roughness. Press Shift A and search for color ramp, and it's here. So let's plug the color to the roughness and the height of the Musgrave texture to the factor of the color ramp. Okay, it's working. Please. Okay, so you see that it's so shiny, it looks like a glass, and it's not a wood, it's a glass now, but we can change them, replace them, and make it more like that. And I'm satisfied with that. It's really good. And let's add a bump node and connect the normal to the normal and the height to the height. But you see that it is too strong now, and we have to change it from here. The strength is 1. It should be really low number, like something around 0.1. Something around 0.1 maybe will work for us. Yeah, 0.1 is really good. I think it will work for us, but this part is left here. I'm seeing it now. Select this, and this, and now hold Ctrl L and link materials. But you see that it's a little bit weird. I think its scale isn't correct. Let's check it. Press N, and you see that the scale isn't correctly set for this one. We can just hold down Ctrl A and then scale, and it will be fixed as soon as we apply the scale. So for these ones, we have to copy this material, but we have to change it a little bit. But let's first of all select this, and then again this one. Hold down Ctrl L and link materials, and actually it's working really good. There is no need for changing. So for this one again, select this and this, hold down Ctrl L and link materials. And for this one, you see that it doesn't work correctly because we've scaled it on the x-axis and it should be scaled on the y-axis. So let's click on this 4 here to make it a completely new material, and this time I'm gonna change it to 1, and we're gonna scale it on the y-axis just like that. Let's find a good scale for this one. I think it's going to work well. So that's it. And let's come to the layout tab, and you see that it's going to work really nice, but we have to work on a little bit of lights, and it will be end of this video. So for this inside of the box, I'm gonna need some supported lights for simulating the shining of the coins inside the box. So let's bring some lights here. I'm gonna use point lights for these ones, and you see that once we add it, it's just started to shine, and it's really good and give good vibes to our scene. So let's increase its power a little bit, and let's take copies here and there. Bring one here, the other one here. I think it's enough. It shouldn't be that much. So select this light, our key light or main light. Let's rotate it a little bit, or we can just bring it higher and press 7 to go to the top of the graphic view. We can change its position a little bit, bring it here a little bit near to the object, then select the support light and bring it to that point and rotate it up to that direction. And I think it's going to make sense. And also let's work on this light here, the rim light. It should come down all the way up to there, and let's scale it on the x-axis, bring it lower, and that's going to be okay. So we can work on these colors a little bit. Come to shading part, and let's make them a little bit more saturated, just like that. And let's come back to the layout tab. I think it's much better from before. So let's select this light. Let's work on the lights a little bit, bring it higher. We can press R twice to enable the trackball rotation and rotate it towards the chest itself. And we can change the color just a little bit and give it a warm light, just like that. But the other one on the other side should be a cold light about blue, about there. So if you notice, the world is gray. I don't want it. I want it to be black. So select this one, world properties, and from here Let's make it a black color, completely black, and that's what I wanted. So select this light, the rim light on the back side of the model. You can scale it on Z a little bit and also a little bit more on the X, but it's too much, and bring it higher up to that point. You can scale it, and there we go. Let's try to close this one. I think that's good. Yeah, that's okay. So for these ones, we can add another light. Let's select this one, the main light here, duplicate it with Shift D and press R twice to enable the trackball rotation, and rotate it towards the inside of the shape, about there. And let's scale it and bring it here a little bit near to the box. And on the light properties or the object properties, we have to decrease its power just about there. It shouldn't be completely dark. Because of that, I just added this light. Or we can just give it some angle from this side, or maybe the other side, from the right part. Let's rotate it on the Z 180 degrees, and that is good now. And for these ones, for the lights that we added here, the point lights, we can duplicate them and bring them a little bit higher, up to there. And there we go. This is the last part of this tutorial. It ends here. This is the last result of the modeling, texturing, and lighting. And if you want, I'll make a separate video on how to animate it, the animation that you saw in the beginning of this series. I hope you've learned something, actually not something, a lot in these tutorials, and it will be useful for you. And enjoy this 5-part tutorial series and have a good time doing all that stuff together. If you're a new member and want to learn Blender and haven't subscribed yet on the channel, just click on that button below to subscribe in the channel. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it. It will help me and support me and my channel a lot. So thanks a lot for watching. See you all in the next videos.